Welcome back, everyone. Today we begin day 18 of our reading of the Bhagavad-gītā. We're getting along now, and now we're into the 11th chapter. 11th chapter is an amazing chapter in how it continues from what we've been hearing so far. Let me start this way. We all live in this world, and we tend to feel somewhat secure. If we got four walls around us and a roof over our head, and we have food coming to us, hopefully we find a situation where we feel relatively secure. And if we do have a relatively secure situation in this world, we begin to take for granted that everything is fine in one sense, not knowing that this material world is like a big grinder. It's just a matter of time before things become very difficult, before these four walls crumble, before the roof falls in. That's the way that this world works. That's the way that this material energy and this material universe functions. And to help us understand that and to help us transcend that, from time to time, our world gets a little shaken up. And that's what's happened to Arjuna in the Bhagavad-gītā, right? He came out onto that battlefield feeling courageous, feeling heroic, feeling like I've got everything under control. I've always had control, and now I've got control. I can do this. And then the circumstances became overwhelming for him. And then he began to search for shelter. And that's the point here, that Krishna shakes up our world. And in this way, because if he didn't, we would look for shelter in the material things in life, the fallible things in life. And so he's showing us in the Gita that when you seek shelter, that shelter has to be two things. It has to be compassionate and loving, which he's in many ways demonstrating himself to be. And that shelter that we take ultimately has to be powerful. Really all powerful, because if it's not all powerful, then whatever is more powerful is going to come and crush our little world. And it happens every day. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, you're looking for shelter. You can come to me for that shelter. Everyone can come to me for that shelter. Everyone by design will find that shelter in me. And if you take that shelter and if you stay connected to me, then you'll always have that shelter. And you stay connected to me by always thinking of me, by absorbing your mind and your heart in me. And he's saying, don't place any other unworthy aspect of my material energy as your shelter. And so when we got to the middle 6 chapters where Krishna is just, they got past that theme about whether Arjuna should work in the world or walk away from the world, that became cleared up by the end of chapter 6. And at the very end of chapter 6, Krishna said, the best yogi, yoga is the way you find shelter, and the best yogi is the one who directly comes right to that shelter, which is ultimately me. So come to me and find that shelter by absorbing yourself in me and serving me with love. And when you do that, I reciprocate with that. And so the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th chapters have been, a theme is being repeated in different ways. It's like different variations on the theme. But that is, I'm all powerful. Come and take shelter of me because I'm really kind and I love you. It's basically like that. So let's very briefly, I'm just going to give like a super quick summary. 7th chapter. Krishna says, of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution. There is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. And then he goes on to say, that was the 6th and 7th verse. And then in the 14th verse, this material energy is very difficult to overcome, but one can easily cross over it by surrendering to me. All right. Then in the 8th chapter, he describes how one should meditate on him. One should meditate on the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, who is always a person, luminous like the sun and transcendental beyond this material nature. That's me, right? And then he says, he who meditates as me, as the Paramam Purusham Divyam, as the supreme transcendental person, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path, he is sure to reach me, right? Then the 9th chapter, similar kind of continuation in the 4th, 5th, 6th verses. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I'm not part of this cosmic manifestation, for myself is the very source of creation. Understand that as the mighty wind blowing everywhere rests always in the sky, all created beings rest in me. And then in text 22, he says, those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack. I preserve what they have. So, and then at the end, text 34, so engage your mind in always thinking of me, become my devotee, being completely absorbed in me. Surely you'll come to me, you'll find that shelter, right? And then in the 10th, there's a beautiful point I wanted to share yesterday, I forgot to, but when Krishna's going through all the vibhutis, all the different wonderful manifestations of this world, wherever we see something powerful arise, something amazing, something that's set apart from everything else arise, think of me, understand that that's me shining through them. And he's giving all these different examples. Among this, I'm that, among this, I'm that. And then he says, among the Pandavas. Now imagine how Arjuna's heart felt when Krishna says, and among the Pandavas. Who is that great one that's shining among the Pandavas? And Arjuna's thinking, of course, he's going to be speaking of Yudhishthira, my glorious brother. Krishna says, among the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Right? It's a very sweet thing to say, you, Arjuna, you are so special. He's been in many ways, he's expressed his softness, his compassion, his love, and his power, right? And his power. So the 10th chapter, he was showing, see my power through every great, beautiful, powerful thing in this universe. That's me working through it. And he ended the 10th chapter by saying, with a single fragment of myself, right? With my Paramatma feature. I'm sitting here, I play in the spiritual world. And without any effort, with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. I am the worthy shelter, right? Now, in chapter 11, Arjuna is going to turn to Krishna and say, all of this that you've been telling me about your mystic power and how you support the entire universe and how everything's coming from you and everything is in you, could you show me that? I've been hearing about it. And so this is what the universal form is really all about. That through his universal form, Krishna is showing visually what he has up to this point been showing verbally. He's been speaking this theme over and over again in the past 4 chapters. Now, rather than just speak it, he's going to give Arjuna a vision of it. How within him is everything, how he's supporting everything, how everything is his energy, how his consciousness, how he is the very soul of the universe. What is the universal form? One might ask, because it's very different idea than many of us have ever come across. But this universal form is Krishna's revelation of himself as the all-pervading reality. In other words, everything in this universe, every person, including like all the powerful influencers, like the powerful devas and the powerful asuras, every aspect of nature, every natural force, Krishna is saying, is all my body. It's my energy. I make it all come alive. It's coming from me. It's pervaded by me. Now see that in a vision. See how it's all me. See how I'm in it all. See how it's all in me. See it, right? And he shows it to Arjuna. So that's where we begin. Arjuna is saying, please show it to me. So I'm just going to read just the beginning, and I'm going to let you read all the rest of the verses today. Today we read from text 1 up until text 23. It's going to take us 3 days to get through the 11th chapter. But it opens up by Arjuna saying, Arjuna said, by my hearing the instructions you have kindly given to me. And when he says kindly, the Sanskrit word is anugraha. Anugraha. It means you compassionately, because your heart is soft and you care about me. You've been sharing all this with me. I came to you like a blubbering, mess, and you've been so kind to me. It's so loving to me. By hearing the instructions you have kindly given to me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled. From this point on, we're hearing a different Arjuna. It's not that mess that we saw early in the first and second chapters. He's understanding things very clear now. So he says, my illusion has now been dispelled. Oh, lotus-eyed one. See, now he's speaking these loving words, right? The lotus eyes, his eyes are very big, and in the corners they're very pinkish, and Krishna's eyes are like practically full of tears. He's so sweet and so loving. Oh, lotus-eyed one. Arjuna's looking at his face and seeing those beautiful eyes. It's not just a formality that he says this. Look at him. Look how, the personality of Krishna is such a beautiful mystery. And so Arjuna, they're on a battlefield and they're having this incredible conversation, and he looks at him, oh, lotus-eyed one, I've heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity, and have realized your inexhaustible glories, right? Your body's not material. Your activities are eternal. You are fully spiritual. It never runs out. You're inexhaustible. O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you've described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. If you think that I'm able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self. So the universal form is it's a vision of the entire universe. And the universe is made up of matter, right? Permeated by spirit. And so can you show me that it's in one sense it's a material form, but it's going to require special vision to see it. And so he puts that out there. I may not be able to see it, but if you think I can see it, then kindly show it to me. I would like to. What you're saying is so fascinating. Can you show it to me? Right? Just like someone might describe some incredible place to you. Do you have any pictures of it? Can I see it? Arjuna wants to see how Krishna is that all-powerful shelter, right? How the entire universe is his energy, under his control, permeated by him, within him. Can you show it to me? And so it begins by, we're going to see this universal form through three different lenses. In text 5 through 8, we hear it from Krishna's point of view. It's kind of his preview. Take a look, Arjuna. In this, you'll see everything. You'll see the devas, all the great, powerful, influential beings who people go to for shelter. They're all inside me. They come out of me. They are my energy. You can even see the future. And this is going to become important in the following days. Arjuna is going to begin to see the future, and that's going to be so zoomed out for him. It's going to give him such a perspective that's going to be able to help him realize just how small his own little problems were. In one sense, just how insignificant he is, and how he can get his mind and heart aligned with just serving as Krishna's instrument in what he's, in the future that he's creating. So that'll become important. So then in text 9 through 14, we get another view. And this is interesting. We have not heard the voice of Sañjaya directly, right? If we go back to the first chapter, in the very beginning of the second chapter, the blind king Dhritarashtra is sitting in his palace in Hastinapur, and through mystic vision, his counselor Sañjaya is describing what's going on the battlefield. At this point, when this amazing, if this were a film, we would have been for a long time just seeing Krishna and Arjuna. But when Krishna shows this vision, suddenly we shift back to Sañjaya, cut to Sañjaya back in the palace, and he's describing this form. Now imagine how the blind king Dhritarashtra is feeling. He knows that Krishna is on Arjuna's side, against his sons. right? And now Krishna, who is just a charioteer, right? Just the person driving Arjuna. He's not going to fight in this battle, but suddenly he's showing, I am the supreme Brahman. I am the entire universe is my body. I am the soul of the ultimate controller of everything is Sri Krishna. And he's showing it to Arjuna right there on the battlefield. And Sañjaya's description is like awe-inspiring, brilliance. The scale of Krishna's influence and power and majesty is what he's seeing. He says it's like seeing if 1,000 suns were to rise at one time, it might kind of sort of resemble the brilliance of this universal form. It's stunning. It's so grand and majestic. It's inconceivable. He's describing this to the king in text 9 through 14. And then from 15 through 31, Arjuna speaks. And we're only going to go up to text 23 today. But Arjuna is going to, at first, he's going to be in that awe kind of mood. Oh my goodness, look at you. All the devas are coming from you. All the worlds are in you. Brahma is in you. All these divine serpents are in you. Everything incredible is in you. You said it, and there it is. I see it. And then it's going to shift from awe to dread, right? And we'll get there tomorrow. Why is this so terrifying, the scene of the universe? And I'll leave it there for now, okay? But you can conceive of this chapter as a visual demonstration of all that Krishna has been showing to Arjuna verbally. Now he's showing visually about how he is the shelter, how he's the worthy shelter, right? I'm not a fallible shelter that will be overpowered by something else. And I'm also not a tyrant. I'm loving. I'm full of anugraha. I'm full of love and love and compassion for my devotees. Okay, let's leave it there for now. Thank you so much for spending this time with me again, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Hari Om Tat Sat.